Okay, welcome to, well, happy Monday. Let's start there, and hope everyone's ready for the upcoming playoffs in Major League Baseball. Should be an interesting season. Let's see here. So this is a game from my 1976 replay, as played replay. We got the 62 and 86 White Sox going up against the 80 and 67 Kansas City Royals. The Royals are trying to stay in touch with the leaders in the American League West with time running out. It is September 17th for this game. Looks like the Royals have like roughly 15 games left. They're 7 games out. So not looking so good for the team from Kansas City. The White Sox, well, it's been a wait till next year state of mind for several months now. The team that never really got on track this year find themselves at 62 and 86, 25 and a half games off the pace. And um, yeah, so that's that as far as the standings are concerned. Today's matchup on the mound for the Royals, Dennis Leonard, 13 and 11 with a 3.00 ERA. And for the Chicago White Sox, it's going to be Rich Gossage with a 12 and 10 record, 3.56 ERA. So let's get started here. Okay, so Dennis Leonard takes the mound. It's going to be facing Chet Lemon, followed by Ralph Garr and Jim Spencer. The rest of the lineup is going to be George Orta batting fourth. I think it's Sam Ewing batting in the sixth spot or the fifth spot. Brian Downing batting sixth. Jack Brohammer batting seventh. Bill Stein batting eighth, and Bucky Dent batting ninth. And let's go ahead and get started. I think I'll point out a few things with this particular game engine in Digital Diamond, Statis Pro 4th edition. I just draw one card and read off of it because all these cards are generated dynamically. So it's not like they're static cards. So the pitch from Leonard is going to be swung on and missed, strike three, and Lemon goes down on strikes. So there's the first out of the game. And that will bring up Ralph Garr. The pitch to Ralph is going to be taken for strike three. So the first two batters up, Leonard strikes out, and that'll bring up Jim Spencer, who's batting 268 with 15 home runs and 58 RBI. The pitch is going to be lined into center field for a base hit. So Spencer is on with one out or two outs here in the top of the first. Let's see, the pitch to Orta will be 17. That's going to be a base hit to center. Okay, and let's see. Is he going to try for third with two outs? No, he's not. He is going to hold. So runners are on first and second, and that'll bring up, let's see here, Sam Ewing, first and second, two outs. Dennis Leonard looking to get out of the inning here. The pitch is going to be a base hit into left field. Now, Spencer is going to go. He's going to try to score. So let's see here. Spencer is it's going to be a tough one. Spencer is he's a OBRD. Ooh, okay. But this is what we do when there's two outs on a base hit. Jim Wolford is in right field. Let me just double check something. There we go. Okay, so Jim Wolford in left. Okay, he's a T4. So second to home on a single, a D. It's 11 to 36, but there's two outs, so that means that we bump his number up 20. So it's now 11 to 56, and he's safe. And he is going to beat the throw. And that means that no, OBR A or B, trailing runners take next. No, he's not. So it's going to be base hit to left. Runners advance. Spencer scores. Orta will go to second. Ewing's at first with this RBI single, and that'll bring up Brian Downing. The pitch to Downing is going to be taken outside for ball four. So Leonard strikes out the first two batters, but now he's in a bit of a jam here. He's already given up a run, and now the bases are loaded for Jack Brohammer. Pitch is going to be grounded to short. Bases loaded, infield back. Yeah, it's going to be standard. Ground out to Patek, who flips it to Frank White for the force at second, and that'll do it here in the top of the first. But the White Sox, with a quick 1-0 lead, head to the bottom of the first with a 1-0 lead over the Kansas City Royals. Rich Gossage on the mound. Gossage to face Jim Wolford, and that's going to be grounded to Brohammer, but he's not going to be able to make the play as Wolford beats out the throw. And we have a runner on first with nobody out. Royals looking to get that run back. So Gossage now looking in. Tom Poquette batting .310 on the season, coming to bat here. The pitch is going to be grounded to short. That's going to be a double play. Dent to Brohammer, on to Spencer, and quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the first for the Royals. And George Brett batting .313, 2 home runs, and 74 RBI. Here's the pitch to Brett. And that's going to be lifted into right field. Ralph Gar's there to make the catch, and the side is retired. So we've played one. And Bill Stein to lead things off here for the White Sox. And the pitch is going to be driven into deep center field. Amos Otis backing up on it. On the warning track, makes the catch. And there's one out here in the top of the second for Bucky Dent, who's batting .270 on the year. He has 45 RBI. Also has 1 home run. The pitch to Bucky Dent is going to be lined into right field for a base hit. Tom Poquette over to get the ball, fires it back into the infield. Dent's on first with a 1-out single. We're back to the top of the order with Chet Lemon. And let's see. The pitch to Lemon is going to be driven into deep right field. Poquette goes back to the wall. It's gone. Home run, Chet Lemon. The White Sox are now up 3-0 here in the second inning for Lemon. That's his 6th home run of the season. It's going to bring up Ralph Gar, and the Kansas City faithful are already restless here. They score 3-0 top of the second, and really with a team with no margin for error as we're here in middle of September, and they're 7 games out of playoff spot. So here's the pitch to Ralph Gar, and that's going to be lined into center field for a base hit. So the White Sox, Leonard not fooling anybody so far today. White Sox with their 6th hit, and we're just 1 out here in the second inning. Okay, the pitch to Jim Spencer is going to be Line in the left field. That's going to be a base hit. Gar was off on the pitch. He's going to round second and head into third. So we got runners on first and third with one out. George Orta coming to bat. Let's see here. Runners on first and third. Okay, let's see. And Spencer's gonna try to get a lead here. Let's see if he's able to. And he does. And he's gonna steal second base. It's a little surprise there. Spencer going, really putting the pressure on the Royals now with runners on second and third, and just one out here in the top of the second. For Spencer, that's his sixth stolen base of the season. And that'll bring up George Orta, or I'm sorry, not bring up, but Orta's already at the plate with one out, runners on second and third. The pitch to Orta is be taken outside for ball four. So all of a sudden, the bases are loaded here with one out. Dennis Leonard really fighting it, facing Sam Ewing, who's got an RBI single in the game. The pitch to Ewing is going to be called strike three. Ewing goes down on strikes, and that'll bring up Brian Downing with the bases loaded. Two outs, and Downing is going to lift a ball into left field. Jim Wolford's there to make the catch, and the side is retired. So Leonard gets out of that inning, giving up two runs. Easily could have been more. Um, the White Sox leave the bases loaded, and we head to the bottom of the second, 3-0. 3-0 White Sox, that is. So here's the pitch to Mayberry, and Mayberry is going to be hit by a pitch here. So he'll take first base. And Amos Otis now coming to bat. Runner on first. Nobody out. The pitch to Otis. It's going to be grounded down to shortstop. Dents up with it. Flips it to Brohammer on to first. Double play. Tailor-made double play. And the White Sox with their second double play of the game. We're just here in the second inning. And Jamie Quirk now coming to bat. Pitch to Jamie is going to be lined into right field for a base hit. So Quirk is on. Two outs, runner on first. The pitch to, actually, Bob Stinson is up to bat now. The pitch to Stinson is going to be lined into left field for a base hit. Quirk will go to third. We have runners on first and third with two outs here, and Frank White coming to bat. So the Royals desperately trying to claw their way back into this game. The pitch to Frank White is going to be called high. No strike there. Gossage upset with the call, but that's going to load the bases as White takes first with the walk, and that's going to bring up Freddie Patek. Freddie Patek, 3 home runs on the year, 47 RBIs, batting .230. Let's see what happens here. The pitch to Patek is going to be ball four, and that's going to force a run home, or a runner home here. So that's going to make it 3-1. And Jim Wolford now coming to bat with the bases loaded and two out. Wolford is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. And the pitch is going to be hit into deep right field. Gar is going to run this one down on the warning track for the third out. And the inning is over. So we head to the third inning. Score is 3-1 Chicago White Sox over the Kansas City Royals. So Jack Brohammer now to lead things off. He's 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. The pitch is going to be grounded to John Mayberry. He'll take it to the bag unassisted for the first out of the inning here in the top of the third. And that'll bring up Bill Stein. Stein is 0 for 1 in the game. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be grounded to second. Nice play by Frank White. He'll flip it to Mayberry for the second out. And there's two away here in the top of the third as Bucky Dent comes to bat. Dent is 1 for 1. He scored a run. The pitch to Dent is going to be grounded to shortstop, Freddie Patek. He's up with it, fires it to first, and the inning is over. Okay, so Tom Poquette to lead off things here in the bottom of the third for the Royals. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be grounded into center field for a base hit. So the Royals with the leadoff runner on, that'll bring up George Brett. And let's see here. Anything going to happen on the bases with Poquette here? No, doesn't look like it. But we are going to see a little hit and run play here by the Royals. Brett is a H&R2, so he's a pretty good stick to hit and run with. And here's the pitch. That is going to be ground out to first base. Oops. Yeah, there we go. G3-1. So it's grounded to Spencer, who will flip it to Gossage covering. Poquette will take second on the hit and run there, where Brett's able to get the runner over to second, stay out of the double play. That'll bring up John Mayberry. Pitch to Mayberry. Is lifted into left field. Ord is there to make that catch. And that's the second out of the inning as Amos Otis now comes to bat. Runner on second, 2 out, 3-1 ball game. Pitch to Otis is going to be grounded to short, but wait a minute. I think we're going to have a error check on Bucky Dent. Runner on second. And that is going to be, he's an E3. It's error 1 to 20. So Dent throws the ball away at first, and that's going to score Poquette. So let's see here. Poquette or Otis will take second on the error, on the throwing error by Dent. So there we go. So just like that, it's now a 3-2 ball game. So the Royals are looking to come back from a 3-0 deficit here. Jamie Quirk coming to bat, runner on second. We got 2 out here. And here's the pitch to Jamie. And that is going to be taken for ball 4. And Quirk is on. So now we got runners on first and second. Stinson coming up to bat. Pitch to Stinson is going to be, let's see, he's going to hit a fly ball into left field. George Orta is there to make the catch. The Royals, though, inch closer, inching back to a 3-2 deficit now after dropping behind 3-0. And it's going to bring Dennis Leonard back out on the mound. He's trying to get settled down here. He's already given up 3 runs on 7 hits, struck out 3 and walked 2. Be facing Chet Lemon, who homered his last time up. The pitch to Lemon is going to be taken for strike three. That's the second time Lemon has struck out today. But in between the strikeouts, he homered, and that'll bring up Ralph Garr. 1 for 2, struck out in single, has a single in the game. The pitch is grounded to shortstop. Patek's up with it, fires it to Mayberry, and that's the second out of the inning. Jim Spencer, 2 for 2 with a run scored and also a stolen base. Pitch to Spencer is swung on and missed, strike three. Leonard with his 5th strikeout of the game, and the White Sox are done here in the 4th. So that'll bring up the Royals. They're going to bring Frank White, Freddie Patek, and Jim Wolford up to face Rich Gossage here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the pitch from Gossage is hit into right field. Ralph Garr is there. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Now Freddie Patek. Pitch to Freddie is going to be grounded down to shortstop. Bucky Dent fields it cleanly, throws it to first base. That's the second out of the inning. Jimmy Wolford coming to bat. Wolford is 1 for 2. Flew out to right his last time up. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. And that's the first strikeout for Rich Gossage here for the White Sox. Gets his first strikeout here in the to end the 4th inning. When we go to the 5th, score is White Sox 3, Royals 2. George Orta to lead things off here. The pitch to Orta is going to be lined into center field for a base hit. So Orta reaches first with nobody out. They'll bring up Sam Ewing, who's 1 for 2 in the game. The pitch to Ewing is a base hit to right field. Orta will go to third. Let's see here. So we got runners on first and third with nobody out. And the Royals are starting to get some activity in the bullpen here as Brian Downing steps up to bat. Okay, so Brian Downing stepping up to bat. Let's see, here's the pitch. BD 43, no, that's not going to be anything. That's going to be hit down to shortstop. So runners on first and third. The Royals are playing in. It's kind of a mandatory thing that I do here with if your team is trailing after the 4th inning, there's a runner on third, less than a couple outs, then they're going to be playing in. So first and third, it's a G6, infield in, or infield in, yeah. Batter out, 6-3, runner holds third, runner on first to second. So there we go. Runner on third holds. So Ewing will go down to second on the play by Patek. So now we got runners on second and third. Brohammer coming to bat. Runners on second and third with 1 out. Brohammer's 0 for 2 today. The pitch is going to be, it gets away from Bob Stinson. That's going to allow Orta to score. Ewing to third. And the pass ball gives the White Sox a 4-2 lead here in the top of the 5th. Still 1 out, runner on third. Brohammer's still up. The pitch is going to be grounded to second. Let's check something here on the What is he? He's a OBRC. Okay, so tit to white. Ewing is going to try to score here. So let's take a look and see what happens on this play at the plate. There we go. So he's a C. 11 to 35. He's safe. This is grounded to white. Ewing breaks for home, and he is going to be out at the plate. Nice play by Frank White to get the runner trying to score from third. Brohammer's on at first, so that's the second out of the inning, and the score is 4-2 White Sox. And let's see, 67. And the White Sox will be sending Brohammer, try and steal second off of Stinson, and he is going to be out. We are 1X. There we go. All right. So the Royals, with some good defense to get themselves out of that jam there, really helping out Dennis Leonard to get through that fifth inning. So Gossage now to face Paquette. The pitch to Paquette is going to be lined in center field for a base hit. So we got a runner on first. The Royals not going gently into that good night here. They are putting up a fight. So runner on first, nobody out. George Brett coming to the plate. Brett is 0 for 2 today. The pitch is going to be grounded to shortstop. The only play is going to be to first for Bucky Dent. Paquette will go to second. And that'll bring up John Mayberry. Mayberry's 0 for 1 today. Got hit by a pitch and flew out to left field his first two times up. Here's the pitch. G4. Yeah, that's not good. That's going to be another double play. So this time it goes, oops, wait a minute. Not right. That's not right. Runner's on second, not first. So it's grounded to first, or grounded to second. Broheimer will go to first on the play. Paquette will go to third um, on the ground out. And that'll bring up Amos Otis. So Amos Otis 0 for 2. He grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his first time up. Also reached error last time up to bat. Reached on an error, that is. Here's the pitch to Otis. And that is going to be taken for a called strike 3. And Otis goes down on strikes. So it is now, we're headed to the sixth inning. The score is 4-2. The Royals are going to be going to the bullpen here. Leonard is he is gassed. So let's see. Who might we bring in? Let's take a look at our righties. I think Fitzmaurice is a starter. Yeah. Doug Bird is a starter. Tom Bruno. Jerry Cram. Roger Nelson. Kent Sanders. Let's take a look at Sanders. Why not? Let's bring in Ken Sanders. He hasn't seen much action this year, so he's going to be going in as the pitcher. Okay. So he'll be facing Bill Stein, Bucky Dent, and Chet Lemon. And the pitch is grounded to third. George Brett, the nice play, fires it to Mayberry. There's one out here in the top of the sixth inning. Now, Bucky Dent, 1 for 2 today. The pitch to Dent is another ball grounded down to George Brett. Routine play, fires it to Mayberry for 2 outs here in the top of the sixth. Chet Lemon now coming to bat. The pitch to Lemon is grounded to third. Brett's up with it, fires it to first, and the inning is over. So Sanders comes in, gets 3 groundouts, all to George Brett. And we'll head to the sixth inning, bottom of the sixth, that is, with the White Sox holding a 4-2 lead over the Kansas City Royals. Be Jamie Quirk, Bob Stinson, and Frank White for the Royals here in the bottom of the sixth. And Quirk will hit a fly ball into left field. Ord is there, makes the catch. There's 1 out. Rich Gossage. He's gone 5 1/3 so far, given up 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 2, walked 3. And here's the pitch to Stinson. It's going to be popped up on the infield. Second baseman Broheimer calling for it. He makes the catch for the 2nd out. And that'll bring up Frank White. Frank White 0 for 1, walked his last time up. Or, I'm sorry, walked his first time up, flew out to right the last time he batted. And he is going to be issued a base on balls again. So that's 2 walks for White. Let's see here. Runner on first, 2 outs. And Frank White, he's an SPB. And he is going to be, he's going to try to get a jump here. Gossage is an A. So, but he's a C, so it's not going to affect his rating. So let's try that. 17 and any SPC or better steals. And that's going to be a stolen base for Frank White. So Frank White steals second. He's in scoring position here with 2 outs. Freddie Patek still up there. Frank White, that is his 12th stolen base of the season. Runner on second, 2 out. The pitch to Patek. It's going to be grounded down to third. Stein is up with it, fires it to first, and the inning is over. So the Royals strand a runner on second, and we've played 6, 4-2 White Sox. Ralph Garr, 1 for 3 today. Stepping up to the plate. He hits a ground ball back to Ken Sanders. Sanders will fire it to Mayberry for the first out of the inning. Jim Spencer, 2 for 3. The pitch to Spencer is going to be called for strike 3. Sanders with his first strikeout of the game. He's retired all 5 batters he's faced. He'll be facing George Orta now. Pitch to Orta. He takes strike 3 for. He takes a called strike 3 and is down on the inning, or down for the 3rd out of the inning. So we're heading to the bottom of the 7th. 4-2 White Sox. The Royals will be sending up the top of their lineup with Wolford, Poquette, and Brett. Gossage now into his 7th inning of work. And White Sox are going to start getting some activity in the bullpen. So the pitch to Wolford is going to be driven to left field. This will be off the wall, fielded by Orta. Wolford will pull into second with a leadoff double, and that'll bring up Tom Paquette here. Runner on second, nobody out. The pitch is going to be taken outside for ball four. That's the fifth walk of the game by Rich Gossage. It's going to bring up George Brett, but not before the White Sox go to the bullpen here. Be looking at why not? Let's call in Ken Brett, George's big brother. So Ken Brett's going to come in to face George with runners on first and second and nobody out. The pitch is going to be called strike three, and Ken Brett strikes out his little brother George for the first out here in the bottom of the seventh. I'll bring up John Mayberry. The pitch to Mayberry is a fly ball hit into center field. Let's see if we're going to get any advancement by the base runners. No, that's not going to be hit deep enough. And Mayberry's retired, so there's two outs. And Amos Otis now will come to bat. Otis, he's 0 for 3 so far today. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be lifted into center field. Chet Lemon calling for it, makes the catch, and the side is retired. So Ken Brett comes in, shuts down the rally that the Royals had going there in the bottom of the seventh. And we head to the eighth. And it looks like we're going to be getting a new pitcher for the Royals. Sanders came in and did his job. Still a lot of lefties to be faced here, so might be looking at Steve Mingori here, or maybe McClure. Yeah, no, I'm going to go with Mingori. Trying to keep the White Sox close here. Sam Ewing will be coming to bat. Ewing is 2 for 3 today. The pitch to Ewing is lifted into left field. And Wolford, let's see, he's in outfield. It's going to be an error. Let's see here. Actually, it's not. It's not an error. Using, the charts say ignore no error occurs, change to comply with digital diamond. So that is going to be caught by Wolford. So there's one out. I'll bring up Brian Downing. The pitch to Downing is a little nubber hit in front of the plate. Stinson's up with it, fires it to Mayberry. There's two outs. And now Jack Brohammer coming to bat. Brohammer's going to get called out on strikes. He takes strike three looking. And Mingori comes in and does his job. So Ken Brett will stay in there for the White Sox, looking to keep the Royals off the board here. And the pitch to Jamie Quirk is he's going to walk Quirk. So Quirk is on with a no out walk. So not a good way to start the inning here. So runner on first, nobody out. And Stinson coming to the plate. And he is going to walk. So Ken Brett walks the first two batters he faces here. Now Frank White coming to bat, first and second, nobody out. The pitch to White is first and second. It's going to be grounded to shortstop. The only play for Dent's going to be at first, and everyone moves up 90 feet. So that puts the winning or the tying run in scoring position with Fred Patek coming to bat. So you got runners on second and third. Patek is 0 for 2 today. He's walked. His walk forced in a run. And so one out, second and third. The pitch to Patek is going to be lifted into center field. This might be deep enough to score a run. Let's see here. No, Perk is not going to be able to score. So that's not hit deep enough there. That'll bring up Jim Wolford. Royals are running out of outs here in this game. For second and third with 2 outs. The pitch to Wolford is going to be grounded to shortstop. Dent will go to first for the out, and the Royals strand two runners in scoring position. And we head to the ninth. White Sox 4, Kansas City 2. Bill Stein will lead things off here, and he will strike out. Mingori with his second strikeout of the game. He's pitched an inning and a third now. Now that'll bring up Bucky Dent, 1 for 3 today with a run scored. The pitch to Dent is going to be stroked into center or right field for a base hit. So Dent reaches first with 1 out. And we're going to see a pitching change here. So we have Lemon, Gar, and Spencer coming up. And let's see. How about Tom Bruno? Let's bring in Tom Bruno here. Got a runner on first, 1 out. And let's see, Dent at first. Chet Lemon up to bat. Pitch to Lemon is going to be, I think the hit and run going. He drives one into left field, and this ball is going to get past Wolford and roll through the wall. That's going to score Dent from first as Chet Lemon comes up with a hit and run double to score Dent from first. And the White Sox take a 5-2 lead here with 1 out in the top of the first, or top of the ninth. The pitch. Pitch to Ralph Gar is going to be grounded to first base. Let's see here. Mayberry will take that to the bag unassisted. Lemon goes to third on the play. So there's 2 outs now. Runner on third and Jim Spencer coming to bat. Pitch to Spencer is going to be taken outside for ball 4. Spencer will take first. So we have runners on first and third. 2 outs. George Orta coming to bat. The pitch is going to be a base hit to center field. Spencer will hold at second. The White Sox now with a 6-2 lead here. And Sam Ewing coming to bat. First and second, 2 outs. The pitch is going to be ball 4. Ewing is on base, and that loads the bases for Brian Downing. The pitch to Downing is going to be line drive back to the pitcher. He makes the catch for the final out, and the inning is over. So we head to the bottom of the ninth. This is going to be it for the Royals. They're trailing 6-2. Tom Poquette to lead things off, and he hits a ground ball down to Jim Spencer. Spencer gloves it nicely, jogs to the bag just ahead of Paquette for the first out. And now George Brett, 0 for 4 today. The pitch to Brett from his brother is lifted into right field. Ralph Garr calling for it. He makes the catch. There's 2 outs. John Mayberry trying not to be the last out of the game, and he's going to line a base hit into right field. So Mayberry reaches first. The White Sox, not looking to give the Royals any life here, are going to head to the pen. And they're going to call on Clay Carroll to face Amos Otis here. One out, or 2 outs, runner on first. The pitch is going to be, he hit him. Otis gets hit by the pitch. He'll go down to first. And now that'll bring up Jamie Quirk, runners on first and second. 2 outs. Royals looking to keep the line moving here. The pitch is going to be popped up on the infield. Jack Brohammer calling for it, and that's going to do it. So from here in Kansas City, the Royals lose 6-2 to the White Sox. Let's go ahead and close this out. Take a quick look at the box score and the standings. So the White Sox with a 6-2 win. Player of the game, maybe Chet Lemon. Maybe. Yes, Chet Lemon. That makes sense. He was 2 for 5 with 3 RBI, hit a home run, his 6th of the season. Let's see here. Let's take a look at the standings. Let's close that. Get the up-to-date standings here in the American League West. You can also take a look at what else is happening around the league. So the Royals dropped to 7.5 back of the first place A's, 6 games behind the second place Twins. So not looking very good for the Royals. In the AL East, you have the Orioles and the Red Sox, both just 4 games off the pace, but you know it is getting late. We have just a few more weeks left in the season. Let's see here. The Pirates, 7-game lead over the Phillies. The Phillies are trying to making an effort to get back in the race here. They are currently 7 games back of the Pirates. The NL West has already been decided. The Cincinnati Reds have a 17.5 game lead, and they will be looking to see who wins the NL East to determine who they play in the National League Championship Series. Let's see, just some of the leaders. Rusty Staub batting .331. Greg Nettles, 40 home runs, 104 RBI. Ken Griffey, 375 batting average, leading the National League. As you see, there's Reds all over the leaderboard, except in home runs. Nobody in the top five in home runs for the Reds. Uh, that's top spots held down by the New York Mets. Dave Kingman. Let's see here. Vida Blue, 20 wins in the American League. John Matlack, 20 wins in the National League. Um, MVP voting, Greg Nettles is atop the American League, just a couple of points ahead of Reggie Jackson. Vida Blue leading Dave Goltz. Um, that's a pretty decent lead, but it's still close enough to where things could change. Joe Morgan with a pretty healthy lead in the NL MVP voting. And John Matlack just ahead of John Candelaria there. That's actually a decent lead, but you never know what could happen there. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. Let's take a look at actually hitting streaks, right? Um, Nothing really significant going on at the moment. Um, in the American League, you had Rusty Staub and Jason Thompson both the 21 game hitting streaks. In the NL, you had Pete Rose with a 27 game hitting streak, and then also Joe Morgan with 26. So, yes, that's going to do it. Hope you enjoyed that. I will be seeing you guys pretty soon. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out, and hope you have a great Monday. Take care.